Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
I'm James Spann. This is the morning edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday, the 11th of July. And guess what? The weather's going to be hot and humid, and it's going to rain on some folks today. I mean, you say that almost any day in July and you know you're safe. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's look at some of the Skycam shots around the network early this morning. First off, starting with Demopolis, looking south right down the Tom Bigby River from the Demopolis Civic Center, the sky mostly clear. We'll go up north. That's the Huntsville Skycam up in the Tennessee Valley at the ridiculous hour of 5 o'clock. And way down south at this hour of the day, that's our Gulf Shores Skycam overlooking the Hangout. And things pretty quiet down there at 5 a.m. after rocking and rolling down there over the weekend. In fact, I was there for a pretty good chunk of last week at Gulf Shores, and the weather was just gorgeous. Okie dokie, upper high across the southern states. That's nothing unusual for this time of the year. The primary westerlies are up on the Canadian border, where some active weather is currently in progress early this morning. Thought I'd check first off the precipitable water values across the United States. Available water for precipitation, and numbers are very high down here. Despite the upper ridge, had a lot of rain yesterday. And again, I think the same thing happens today. In fact, we've actually got some rain out there this morning. Look at the radar. This is at 5:06 a.m. It is raining up in places like Center Point and Pinson and Pawnee. That's up in the northeastern part of Jefferson County, and also raining in parts of Shelby County from around Greystone back over to Vincent. And as I often say here, you know, if you got rain on radar at 5:06, there's something external forcing that, not just the daytime heating process. And there seems to be an old surface boundary around, adding to convergence of the low levels, and the air parcels rise, and you get that even at this hour of the day. So inevitably, there'll be showers and storms around today, but they'll be scattered. But where they do form, they could pack a punch, much like yesterday. And man, it was hot yesterday out west. Look at that heat over Oklahoma and Kansas. Looks like the peak of the heat was 109. And that's the hottest in the nation, hotter than the deserts. Phoenix only hit like 100 yesterday. And around here, most folks were in the 90s, although had a few locations with only 80s where the showers started early. But on the other hand, we know Tuscaloosa hit 100. All right, watch warning map. All of the really active weather is on top of the heat bubble. See a couple of severe weather boxes up there. That's one until 11 o'clock this morning for parts of Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. And that's where the organized severe weather will be today. Slight risk of severe weather up north. And again, down here, we'll have the pulse-type storms, the air mass storms. They'll be kind of random, but they can pack a punch with potential for gusty winds and a whole lot of lightning. Pretty much the same deal tomorrow. There's the QPF chart rain for the next 5 days. Actually, numbers look pretty good here. This is valid through Friday evening at 7 o'clock local time, and the numbers are peaking at 3.5 inches just below Orange Beach. And if you're beach-bound, don't panic. There'll be some scattered storms down there, but not the kind of washout that might suggest. And up here, it's suggesting rainfall amounts of about 1 to 1.5 inches. And as we all know, some locations could get that in just 1 hour. In fact, we had some of that yesterday. But if you smooth it out, it might look like that. And man, the tropics have just been quiet. Look at that. The Atlantic Basin just quiet as a mouse. And again, as we often remind you, the core of the season is still coming up. That's in August, September, early October. So we'll see if things pick up later this month. We'll check the GFS. This is the OZ run, valid at 7 o'clock this evening. Old 594 ring. Don't like those. That means hot. Now, because we have good soil moisture, you know, the deep moisture, it's not, with those dew points up in the 70s, it's not going to heat up as much as you might expect with that. I think everybody will be in the 90s today. Triple digits, I'd say, look very unlikely, except where the ground is dry, and there are pockets in West Alabama, like Tuscaloosa, where it is. And down below that, you know, these maps don't help, the synoptic maps, but we'll mention scattered showers and storms today and tonight. Obviously, the more numerous ones and the heavier ones will be this afternoon and this evening. Same thing tomorrow. Highs in the 90s, hot, muggy, a few scattered storms. But Wednesday, The heights are coming down, and that should mean a general increase in the number of showers and storms about. Thursday looks pretty moist, soupy. And really on Wednesday and Thursday, we'll just kind of go with scattered to numerous showers and storms. And pretty much the same deal on Friday. So while every day this week, we'll have storms around, I think the better coverage could be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But by golly, we might have some pretty decent ones out there today and tomorrow as well. And that's about the only cooling we can offer. Other than that, hot and muggy. Saturday starting off the weekend, the nastiest part of the heat is northwest of here. Places like St. Louis and Des Moines and Chicago, they'll be baking up there. But around here, pretty typical stuff. Highs in the 90s and some chance of scattered showers and storms. Same thing Sunday and Monday of next week. Just not changing very much. We'll check the end of the forecast on July the 26th. Hey now, trough over the east. 594 heat way west, and if that's right, a surface front will try and ease in here in late July. And that doesn't happen that often. Of course, inevitably that will probably change, but it's nothing else. It's a nice thought. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 3:30 or so today. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful Monday, and God bless.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.